this was the name of the Metropolitan Police operation that resulted in the Brixton riots. And I don't know, I'm from South London, and I've always just kind of liked the social history of where I'm from. And I don't know, didn't call it that to preach about it. I don't ever want to sort of stand up and go on and on and on about this because it's a record label at the end of the day. But I just like putting certain phrases and words out there which, if you want, you know what I mean, you can find out a deeper meaning, and if you want to take it on, you can go and read about some other stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of referencing something which I think is important.
Okay, on that note, should we play something from Swamp, maybe something that no one's heard yet that's coming out? Apparently we're not allowed to know.
Under information. Cocaine powder. Under information. Under information. Cocaine powder. Under information. Cocaine powder. Under information. Under information. Cocaine powder. Information. Cocaine powder. Under information. Under information. Cocaine powder. Cocaine powder. I'm the information. Cocaine powder. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. I'm so addicted to cocaine powder. I'm so addicted. I'm the information. Cocaine powder.
Sorry to cut that one off. So we were kind of talking there. Obviously, these guys didn't hear it. I said, "Who's this by?" And he said, "When it comes out, it's not even going to have a name or anything on the artwork."
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's a marketing scam," but you're saying it's not.
No, it's turned into one. It has totally turned into one, but it wasn't like thought about at all. The guy who did write it, he just said, "I don't want to put a producer name on it." So we have.
Do you know why?
He just didn't want it. It was just like, I don't know. He didn't want people to do anything apart from just listen to the tune. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really? Okay. We're going to take that bit of like your voice away and analyse it and try and work out who you're talking about.
Good luck with that.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to production, because that's kind of what On The Buttons is all about. What's your setup for making beats when you were making beats?
Sequencing logic. I used to use, basically I used a couple of plugins. Trilogy for bass, I used to use all the while. And EXS24, which is the Logic sampler. And Stylus Remix for drum beats. And that was pretty much it. And the Logic compressor.
So everything in the computer?
It was to start with, yeah. I'm still writing now, but I'll never stop writing, I just stop releasing, you see what I mean? Right now I've got this Roland JV2080 sound module. It's like a rack mount synth thing. It's like I used quite a lot in the late 90s. And that I find brilliant. So that's spread across the desk. I've got this thing called an SE1, Studio Electronics 1, which is like, it's like a Voyager if Nintendo had made it, kind of thing. It's like a free oscillator, full analog synth, but it's got this kind of, I don't know, computer gamey sound to it. But though that means it's rich and warm, it's got that just aesthetic. So I use one of them. I've got Virus TI, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's me really. That's pretty much my setup.
Okay, cool. In terms of making beats, working on tracks, do you have kind of like your own, I don't want to call it a formula because that sounds a little bit regimented, but do you have a way in which you work kind of every time?
I don't, but maybe I should. Like, I don't know, I don't have one.
Why do you say maybe you should?
I don't know, because I get to a point in beats where I just write them and I'm just writing and writing and I just don't really finish them, just like...
Oh, okay. A lot of unfinished.
Yeah, just move on and write the next thing and... Yeah, maybe if I was a bit more structured, I'd finish.
Do you tend to like start always with drums or start always with melodies or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Just whatever comes.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you ever got about making beats?
That there's no such thing as a wrong technique. There's no such thing as right or wrong, basically.
And what would be your best bit of advice to give to someone else? That's not that.
I would say know why you're doing what you're doing. Know if you're drawing for a compressor, why are you drawing for that compressor? Know it, you know. If you're going to limit your beats, why are you limiting your beats? Is it because that's the fashionable mix down, or is it because you actually want to draw for a limiter, you know? So know your sound. Know why you do what you do. That's what I would say.
And you mix down all your own material, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, kind of mixing down stuff is like, it's almost like learning how to make beats all over again. It's kind of like a whole other creative kind of side of it. So how do you approach it? Do you have certain, like, do you have any kind of tips or tricks as to how you approach your mix?
I mean, I'll put the tune on loop for like a whole day. I just wander around and I do other things while it's on loop, like, but it's still just on loop, and just kind of stop listening to it. And once I stop listening to it, you kind of subconsciously notice, oh wait a minute, that hi-hat's really sticking out, let me take it down by 2 dB or whatever, and it's just like little edits over the day while I'm maybe just playing Xbox or something, do you know what I mean? With the tune will be on in the background, and
That's
it's
an
just
interesting
like,
way of doing it.
yeah, just have it on and on and on. Eventually you get your balance. Also, you can't overthink them. because then you just will never finish them. It's get it as near to where you want it as possible, and then have a good mastering engineer that you have a good relationship with. And yeah, that's what I'd say.
How long do you usually like spend on the mix that?
It's a piece of string. How long is a piece of string?
It's no like set after 5 days I'm jacking it in.
No.
Okay, cool. Lastly, because we're kind of running out of time and I want to make sure you guys get some time to ask questions. If people are going to invest money into making their own music, where do you think they should be investing that money?
As in equipment-wise?
Either equipment or mastering, or you know, wherever you could possibly invest money into making music. What do you think is the most important thing?
It's the recording. Like in this day and age, the plugins are so good and advanced that you don't really need to fill your studio with synths. But if you take those plugins and then run them out of the box into a desk and put them through like a good compressor, like outboard compressor, a good like preamp, something like that, get a nice chain basically, and then you'll get a nice sound which will ultimately be your own sound. It'll be the sound of your studio. That is what I'd say. Invest in your recording chain, and yeah, good mastering definitely, but with the right person, you know, with the right person for that sound.
On that note, who do you recommend for mastering?
Well, for years I used Jason at Transition, and if you're looking for that bottom end and that snare that just cracks through, there's no one else you can use. Right now, a lot of the Swamp stuff is going through Stuart at Metropolis, who the sound isn't so sub-heavy in the snare. It's more like, I know there's more of a techno thing going on, kind of housey, whatever, but it's different, it's a slightly different sound. And he's like, yeah, he's brilliant as well. I mean, he used to do all the old Photech stuff, all the old Melton 20s, he's like Source Direct. So yeah, but those two, between the two, for me, they're the two top mastering engineers in London. Like, yeah.
Cool. You have to get them to pay you for that little plug there. Okay, cool. Questions. It's always no one wants to ask the first question and then they all come at once. Anyone out there at all? Yeah, see, I knew it was going to happen. Go on.
Right, with dubstep, obviously the definition of the actual sound is quite broad. Would you see that as a definition of anything outside of the sound, or is it just the music? For example, like with hip hop, there's a culture around it. Yeah, would you see dubstep's got that in any way? Is it like a philosophy behind it, or is it what you would think you'd like to add to it?
See, there was at one point sort of that, I don't know, that kind of culture, or that, also that sort of sonic ethic we all had. But it was basically, it wasn't really dubstep, it was just Croydon. It was like the Croydon producers and Code 9, who was in Camberwell, was near enough. And it was just like that. At the beginning we thought that was dubstep, but it turns out I think it's just more regionalised. And I mean, I'm still in contact with all the old people, and whatever we're doing, we still seem to have that elements of that original sound within it. But dubstep as a whole, I think it's far too big now to look on it. If you're looking on it as dubstep, yeah, it's too big. But then when you break it down, because it's not just a Croydon thing, I can break it down to that because that works for me. But then you've got like some little firms in it. You've got like the Circus Records lot. You've got like, I don't know, Dub Police. You've got all the different sides of it. And within the sounds, then I would say, yeah, there's the right little cultures. But as a broad thing, calling it dubstep, nah, not anymore.
Anyone else got any questions? Go on, shout.
You talk about your sound sort of being your own, and sort of you want it to be honest, as it were. But do you ever find yourself sort of comparing your tunes to other people's? Because I know that when you're listening to your tune and you're listening over and over again, you sort of get into this bubble where your ears become attuned to your sort of sound and your mix down. But then when you listen to something else, you find that the bass is a lot fatter or the sound sounds wider.